I often like to try out new things with ZED to see if they actually work. For example, Conquer ZED was a fun concept that I tried out a long time ago while nobody played it, and it turned out to be really good. And so in this video we will try out ZED top lane to see if ZED can be useful in top lane and to see if some potential can be unlocked with this top lane pick. In the past, ZED has been a really bad top laner because of his roaming playstyle, runes and items, and his assassin-like champion style. But I was thinking if ZED can actually be a good top lane pick this season, because I think there's a lot of potential in him. So I played a lot of games with ZED top, and here is what I learned. I was thinking about what rune to go with ZED top, and the obvious answer is Conqueror. There are a lot of fighters and tanks played in top lane, so that rune should always be pretty good. Of course, there is some exceptions, but we will talk about that later. The item that goes the best with Conqueror ZED is Eclipse, because it gives you the shields and survivability that you need. But what about the rest of the build? I was thinking about a build that makes you pretty tanky, but also allows you to deal a lot of damage and be a huge threat for the enemy team. The full build looks like this. With this build you are pretty tanky because of Conqueror, Eclipse, Black Cleaver, Edge of Night, and you are pretty hard to kill because you have a lot of mobility and sustain. You also shred armor with your abilities because of Eclipse, Serilda and Black Cleaver. You shred shields because of Serpent's Fang, and you can slow down the whole enemy team with your abilities because of Serilda's passive. So with this build you basically have what every top laner needs to have: sustain, CC and a lot of damage. Of course, if you play against a full AD team you can go Guardian Angel or Death's Dance and be even harder to kill. Another good item that can work with ZED top is Sanguine Blade. That item gives lethality and attack speed if fewer enemies are nearby. It's a really good item for solo killing somebody, for split pushing and destroying towers. It also allows you to stack Conqueror faster and gives you some sustain. With all that we can see that a lot of items and runes can actually work with ZED top. And ZED top has a lot of good qualities that he brings to his team, like shredding armor, slowing the enemies and being hard to kill. And of course let's not forget that he deals a lot of damage while doing all of this. Now let's discuss how his laning phase and matchups look like. A really good thing that I noticed playing ZED top is that top laners don't usually know what ZED does exactly in laning phase and are actually pretty surprised when they get killed. This makes sense because top lane ZED is not usually what you see, so people don't expect it and they don't know how to properly play against it. That makes it easier to play ZED in laning phase because you can surprise your enemy and kill them when they think that they are safe. There are some really good matchups for ZED in top lane. Gangplank is one of the best matchups for ZED. You can take Electrocute against him and at level 6 he basically can't do anything to stop you from killing him. Also you can use Electrocute against Jace and some other squishy top laners that you can kill at level 6 pretty easily, like Queen. Sometimes people pick mages in the top lane, so you can take Electrocute against them too. If you are going Electrocute, you can combine that with Prowler's Claw because it's basically not possible for your enemies to escape. Against really tanky champions, don't take Electrocute. If you can't really burst them down, but you need a longer time to fight them and kill them, take Conqueror. Against any champion in top who builds armor first, the better thing is just to take Conqueror. For example, against Sion, Renekton or Darius. A really good thing about ZED in top lane is that if you see that you can't fight your enemy right away, don't panic. You can just let them push you under your turret and you're okay since you can less hit pretty well on him. Also, it's really hard to dive ZED since you have a lot of mobility with your W and ultimate, so you don't have to worry about that. Another thing that I learned playing ZED top is when you get ahead, it's extremely hard to stop you. You can just keep killing your opponent 1v1 and there is basically no help for him. If somebody comes to help him, it's not a big deal for you since you can just run away because ZED has a lot of mobility. All of that makes ZED a really good split pushing champion. If you're ahead, you can just keep split pushing and destroying turrets, and since your laner can't stop you because he's behind, you can just keep killing him. If the enemy team sets more people on you, you can just retreat and your team can secure drakes or other objectives. Another really good thing with playing ZED top is that you don't have to worry about getting a full AD team like you have to when you're playing ZED mid. A lot of the time your mid laner is going to pick an AP champion and you don't have to worry about the enemy team stacking that much armor. In conclusion, I would like to say that ZED isn't a bad top lane pick at all. If you're really good at the champion, you can make ZED top work for sure. You can surprise your enemy with something that they haven't experienced and use that for your advantage. In some matchups like a Gangplank or Jace, ZED is super good and you can snowball and take over the whole game. So the question is ZED top better than mid? In some cases yes, but usually no. If you're a really good player, you can make it work and even win the whole game for your team. ZED top has some advantages, like your enemies don't expect you to pick ZED top and don't really know how to lane against him properly. ZED can also become a split push monster if you're ahead and basically nobody can stop that. With the new season items you can make ZED a really big threat for the enemy team and you can provide so much for your own team. So next time when you see a good ZED player play top, don't jump the guns and flame him for it, because he might just be the one to carry you the game. Thank you for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see me make more videos where I try out something new with ZED, let me know in the comments below. Until then, have fun playing ZED top and I will see you guys next time.